Alright, just gonna get.
Over.
Hang on. It is actually game everyone. I do need to do a little bit.
What was that?
Hold on.
Let's rev up our engines.
Coming back.
We'll rev up those fryers.
No. Ah, there you go. Ah, combat. Ah. Hello.
Are we live?
I hate you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Embers by Daybreak, brought to you by Natural One RP.
Thank
I
you
am
for
your
coming.
DM, Francisco, currently enjoying some mango ice cream. It's great. It goes really well with the tears of my players.
When did we become an ice cream based mukbang?
Mukbang, D&D, and ice cream. Perfect.
You see, now I'm in the position where I have ice cream just sitting in my desk, and I don't think it's gonna last the next 2 hours. But yeah. Now Capri Sun, I'm set. I'm ready. All right, so we last left off. Everybody has their new characters, right? Okay, cool. Awesome. Dylan, you might have missed one or two things. So what happened was, while Dylan was having a nice, calm chat,
Oh, God.
Lovely.
in the mess hall.
Get the spark notes of this.
Yeah, the performers found a man by the name of Henry Turncott, sweating profusely in his. I was about to say cot, but bunk.
That would have
He
been
really
somewhat
turned that
fitting,
cot.
Turning
really.
profusely in his cot.
Right. Which is strange enough, except for the fact that his veins were showing the familiar symptoms of what you guys have called the violet catalyst. So, naturally, the performers went a little bit of separate ways. Petrichor and Terry went to drop off Calvin with the rest of the children, and Calvin had a nice little episode where he was motivated enough to protect the children and pulled out his knife in front of everybody. Meanwhile, David went to find Dr. Rykov, who he's in a very sorry state at the moment, but he was found outside the captain's quarters. Excuse me. Trying to get at the captain, who is currently not seeing anybody. However, with the promise of a live specimen, Dr. Rykov readily went with David back to Henry, and upon waking him up, thanks to Dr. Rykov's moderate enthusiasm to see this new person, they managed to wake him up and to convince him to go with them to the words are escaping me, to the doctor's room.
Office.
Yes, thank you. And with that, you all went there. Petrichor, I believe you went down to the mess hall and you had a brief interaction with a Derekai woman who kind of just sat there, not touching her food, and had her arms crossed.
Glared at me.
Asked for Terry's name. They walked away. And then you also had to talk Ursa for a little bit. However, it was in that that Henry seemed to, if I remember correctly, no, he did. He got Dr. Rykov got out of the room saying that Henry had disappeared. And upon further questions, they found that Henry was actually invisible, as he suddenly came into several magical abilities. Now, this chase ensued, in which the performers cornered him off from going further down the ship and forced him to go up to the deck. After some actions and some severe misses from one person, we won't mention names, but you know who you are. And they all went to the deck. You miss every single shot you don't take.
Ow! Be nice.
She knows the catnip's there.
Crying
Alarming.
cat off
She
screen.
mad though.
She's gonna attack me in a few minutes. Just give it a second.
Perfect. But yes, With that, the three of the performers go up to the deck and try to and kind of corner Henry in. And as Henry tried to use a Burning Hand spell that he recently discovered he can do, the energy seemed to expunge out, almost hitting the performers, and then retract back into his body violently, to the point where it centered in his chest, and there was a brief moment before everything went dark. At the very least, for the three people on the deck of the ship. Now, with that, Nephra. Hello. Now, there was a little brief technical difficulty back 2 sessions ago where you kind of were frozen for a little bit and I just kept talking at you. So we were discussed how much you
Just
know
like
about
our
the
real
conversation from
conversations.
there, right? But as you gaze nervously at Nina, you find that despite everything that has happened recently, the present conversation of new discoveries in Derekai has reinvigorated her to the point that she has not touched the remainder of her. She begins to grow more and more animated with her gestures as she continues to talk. It is then that you see it. Several feet behind her, through the open hatches running along the walls of the mess hall, you see a form emerging upwards outside the ship itself. It's like a window that you can kind of see through,
Mhm.
and it gives the mess hall most of its light. And you see this form slowly emerging upwards. Uh, Slowly, you can see it continue to rise more and more, and you find that it's not confined to one single hatch. Rather, almost every other opening appears to have similar forms emerging in front of them, and realization hits you just as suddenly as a dark voice sounding in your head, the loudest it has ever been. Prepare yourself, boy. As the room darkness as the room darkens from the green foam rising from the ocean all around you, the explosion from above shakes you to the core. Nephra, what do you do?
Uh, where is Nina? Where is everyone? Everyone around us. What's happened to them? Have they been thrown off the table? What's happening?
The explosion itself rocks everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
However, it doesn't have any adverse effect. Everything just shakes. Some food falls off the tables. You see a lot of people all of a sudden grow up in the panic, mostly from the explosion, but some have now noticed the green foam rising upwards. None of it's getting in, but it's just kind of going up and over the hatches. Excuse me. Nina is in front of you, suddenly silent as she's looking around, panicked, trying to figure out what's going on as this sudden rush of events has occurred. And in your head, you feel that presence that you've been dealing with for the last few days, or the last few months, I should say. And as you feel that presence kind of tug at you, and the glaive becomes, you feel the need to hold your glaive even more than usual. You see a lot of people start to run upwards out of the room and in the direction where the upper decks are. Some to investigate, others to just get out of there. You see Ursha off to the side, kind of trying to calm people down, like, wait, hold on. But her voice doesn't carry enough as people are kind of now stampeding out of the mess hall. There aren't too many people in there, about a good dozen people. But that's more than enough to cause a ruckus as tables are knocked over and they start going over to the entrance.
And to be clear, none of the portholes have been cracked open yet. There's no water coming into the mess hall at all.
There's no water coming into the mess hall at all, but all the portholes are open.
Okay.
Usually around this hour, since it is early afternoon, or I should say now afternoon, they would keep them up to get the last remainder of the daylight in there so that they don't have to waste candles with light.
Um, what is Quillith doing right now?
If I remember correctly, Quillith left.
It should be okay.
Yep.
All
And
right,
that's why you and Nina were having your conversation.
Okay. Nephra is going to stand up if he isn't standing up already. He's going to grab Nina's hand and kind of like pull her forward. And he's going to say, "We need to find Quillith. We need to find Quillith right now. Well, let's head up to the upper decks. We need to see where she's going."
You
And
see her.
I'm just gonna take off holding Nina's hand.
You see her begin to open her mouth to respond, but the sudden jerk of you pulling her along kind of stops any words from escaping her mouth. Instead, you hear a sharp exclaim as you're pulling her along. By then, most people have gone out. Ursa's trying to see if there's anybody else in the mess hall, make sure everything's all right, at least there. And as you start heading out, you do smell the same smell that you got back on the light iron. The smell of just ocean trash and decay just hitting you. And it's now this time it's more prevalent as it's coming from all around. So with that, you're heading over to the top deck.
Yeah, heading towards the top deck. Trying to see if we can find Quillith in any of the rooms nearby, any of the cabins available. Before we actually get up onto the top deck.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
And I am calling out after her, quite loudly, as well.
Perfect. So that's it. To the rest of the performers. For what seems to be like an eternity, there is nothing but darkness. And then there is excruciating pain. Between the three of you, and between the roles I asked you to do off stream, you have all acquired 25 damage collectively to be divided amongst you however you see fit. So I'll let you guys decide who gets what damage.
Interesting.
Well,
Interesting mechanic.
Curious.
In that scenario, where are people's health at?
10.
Okay. I've 19.
Okay.
Terry has 24.
Terry has it.
So
Terry has so much.
So we have, what's our total health pool we have to divide?
25.
25. It's easy. It's easy as pie.
10, 10, 5.
Right? Not even.
So Petrichor gets 10 damage.
Nah. It's a saving roll. Let's go.
So be.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So that's it. So everybody decided what.
My note, my argument is. Let's see, what was it again? It's 24. So my argument is 12 for Terry, 9 for me, remaining on Petrichor, which I think is 3 or 2.
Okay.
I think it's 2.
But I feel like storily that's, or I feel like that's not right though, because I was quite close.
We're being allowed the ability to just choose
who
gets the damage. We are being allowed the meta game, so therefore we meta game.
Okay, I trust you.
Yeah.
When we're told to meta game, we meta game. Damn it!
I'm sorry. I'm just a really honest person, and I just.
With if it helps, Petrichor, you also, I believe no, wait, never mind. Your roll is about the same as everybody else.
Oh,
you all rolled pretty similarly, actually.
Oh.
Which is why you're in this situation. And but when it comes to explosion, they tend to be unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, as you all decided where your damage goes,
Okay.
as the pain sets in, the world kind of begins to come into focus, and you realize you're all sprawled out on the ground. You see several splinters sticking out of your arms, and you notice that there's commotion. Everything is dulled down away. You or muffled, I should say. As you see feet
Great.
running by, you see people try to, or people saying things to each other as they run by you, but you can't seem to hear anything. Well, all you can think about is the pain and how moist you feel. Yeah, something warm is all over you.
Moist?
I'm like, I always feel like this. I need water.
There's water, and then there's
Oh, look!
Jade.
He's vertical.
There's Jade. Oh no, must not having a good internet day.
Oh boy.
He must be at a concert.
Well,
But yes, Jade, you can hear me okay, right? Perfect. Okay.
can you
So,
tilt your phone to like?
no.
Oh,
He's not
No.
allowed. But with that said,
I think the only reason he did
as-
that is because his computer hadn't loaded up yet and decided just to peek his
Oh.
face through.
oops.
Because the way he does this is he just calls us on the phone instead through the app, and then lets it sit while he's in the car so he can hear and spy on us.
Smart.
but yeah.
And I couldn't
And-
help but notice everyone giving up on me, giving me damage. What the hell?
You have the most health, though.
we as long as we're even, because in case we have to continue to fight, then at least Petrichor is not
Won't die.
at 0 HP.
Please.
You're the one who should be the farthest away from everything anyway.
Okay. But yes, and as you all kind of individually manage to look down to actually look at yourselves, in the state of shell shock that you're all in, now you do notice you're all covered in some variation of this violet dark
No.
liquid.
Not
As
again.
you all were kind
Been
of
oozed on again.
Uh,
And for some of you,
We
see
just bathed.
there's blood and there's chunks of things you don't even want to think about. David, you think you see a tooth on your clothes
oh.
on top of other things.
Ew.
And we're going to say, let's see here. Okay. Petrichor.
Yes.
And as you're looking around, you're kind of leaning against a box.
Yeah.
Having been sent some distance away.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this figure kind of approaching you
Mm-hmm.
slowly. But then again, with your messed up senses right
Who
now,
knows how
everything
fast?
seems to, yeah. They appear slowly, kind of moving side to side. You see something in their hand as they come towards you,
Mhm.
and you get this smell. For, for the first time, you can actually smell anything at this point after kind of waking up, and you smell a all too familiar smell of decay and sea waste hit you.
God. They
And
followed us.
and there's confusion. And as you see, as your vision starts clearing in front of you, you see this what looks to be a man raise this thing up, and you see it is a rotten wooden block with
No.
a black sharp material on the end of it. As it raises it up to bring it down at you, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity. That's a 13.
It's a 13.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Alrighty then. I already forgot where I put these guys. There we go. All right. So, yes, you see the axe coming down to you, and more out of instinct than nothing else, you kind of quickly roll over to your side as it collides with the wood underneath you. Excuse me. Oh my God. More more crushing the wood rather than cutting into it.
Mhm.
And you hear the exasperated gas as all of a sudden the world comes back to you, and you hear shouts, loud noises all around. Your senses are now overloaded with the sheer amount of noise coming from everybody as there's panic, as
Mhm.
there's shouts, commands laying loose, and there's other chaos on board the deck of the Ember. But right next to you, there is this creature that you know all too well. The same one of the a similar creature to what you encountered in the Light Iron.
Mhm.
With few variations here and there. It looks to be a younger humanoid for whatever it was. The armor itself still rotten with seaweed draped all over it. Uh,
Mhm.
just looks down, uh, weapon lazily in its hands. And at this point, David, you finally come to your senses and you see several people kind of running past you. One person actually steps on you, not enough to do damage, but it does irritate you to the point where it kind of sharpens your senses even more. And you see there's this creature hovering over Petrichor, and you see several others more towards the bow of the ship. Emerging as this green foam kind of cascades over the railings of the deck of the ship. And while your vision kind of clears, you still can't hear too often, or hear too well, I should say, as the shouts and the noises are now kind of contributing to your momentary deafness. But you do see this immediate danger as Petrichor is now prone on the ground in front of this creature.
Okay, well, so are when I'm looking at the creatures, like, am I still seeing the other people?
Oh, look. There
Huh?
we go. All right. You guys were paused for a little bit for me.
Okay.
Oh.
Do I
Yep.
still see the other people, like the
Yes.
the people on the ship
Yeah,
that
and
I know
David.
of?
Yep. People on the ship. And you also see this massive hole just where Henry was standing. Jagged pieces of wood, um, making the edge of this hole as it goes down to the bottom deck. And you see it actually goes into uh, Silent's old room.
Well, because essentially, I'm trying to, I'm like kind of ensuring myself as I finally like kind of pick myself up here. Like I'm not like seeing. I'm not thinking the crew members are these creatures, am I? Like, am I going mad?
Yeah.
If you want to make a roll for it, you can. But until then, I want everybody to roll initiative. No, it doesn't have the same effect. No.
Yeah, it just kind of looks demonic. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
There we
they're
go.
very demonic. It's not
Aw.
yeah, it's not as purely. Oh, that's cocked. It's not as purely like, oh, the room is red. It's just you're red.
Franny. And the room is like normal colored.
Oh, we have Jade again.
Hey,
There you go.
Everybody
All
just
right.
lean in here. Jade,
So,
you came
Nefra, you're
just
also
in
rolling for
time
initiative.
for
Just
enrolling
confusion.
initiative.
If I'm right, it only means one thing. We're making brownies. Death brownies. All right. And while you guys are loading, a few tidbits from Celeste. You may know her as Ginevra in earlier streams. A couple of notes she gave me
Ow!
here.
My
Any
foot.
rod is a rod of alertness if you hit them hard enough.
Valid. Valid.
Yep.
Respect
Sure.
that.
And here's a following dialogue. Me, while attacking an enemy, I'll use my tentacle rod. Enemy, oh god, yes. Me, what?
What?
Enemy, I mean,
What?
no.
Memories.
What?
What?
I mean,
You said that.
no.
Celeste is a comedy genius, and everybody needs to see that. Okay. So with that said, Let's start off from the top. 25 to 20. Oh, really? Never. What'd you get?
22.
I'm so proud of you.
Good job. Help
You're
us,
gonna
please.
need it.
Y'all ready for some crazy shit?
Yeah, we are, please.
Nefra, the only healthy character in this game right now.
Y'all ready for sicko mode? It's happening.
Sweet Victory starts playing. Nefra comes in. Meteor impacts. All right. 19 to 15. Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. All right. This is fine.
Oh, we're going around circle. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay, cool.
Please. Marshall.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. What was it? 19 to 15. I said that. Nobody said anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 14 to 10. Petrichor. Terry.
I got 14.
All right.
Oh.
Petrichor. What you get?
7.
It is your unlucky day.
Uh-huh.
So, top of the round, David, your deafness is slowly going away, but you find that you might, if someone were to just talk to you normally, you might not understand them right off the bat. You do see there's a creature accosting Petrichor at the moment, and several others towards the bow of the ship. You see several of the crew members are either grabbing whatever they can to kind of fight off these unknown invaders, or just running away. You see one or two of them are actually also laying on the ground, similar to how you have been covered in this violet fluid.
They're in the goop.
Yep.
You want some goop?
Unmoving. Whether or not they're alive is up to chance. So with that, what do you do?
So I'm able to discern that there are crew members and there are people, and then there are these things.
I don't know. Do you want me to make you roll an intelligence check?
If I have to. That's the question.
You don't have to, but it could be funny.
It's your decision.
You know what, David?
What?
I'll cut you a break. You were just an explosion.
Okay.
You're fine. You can you can discern who is friend and foe at this
It was
moment.
it was mainly just like, am I only seeing horrible foam creatures, or am I also seeing people and these foam creatures?
You're seeing a bit of
Like,
violence.
oh god, everybody's turned to zombies.
You're seeing that actually half your vision's mostly violet, as you realize a lot of this gunk has gotten the right side of your face.
No.
And it's kind of messing with your eyesight. It won't affect you in terms of like gameplay and combat. It's just a nasty thing.
You know what it can do though, or it won't help. It won't hurt me then. Whipping this fool.
Whip him.
Yes, you still have your weapon with you.
That's right. Packed weapon, baby. I really hope it's 16 hits.
16 for that just hits.
Awesome.
All right.
He's gonna get shoved.
All right.
Where
Go
is?
for it.
I need to double check the specifics of it.
All
Features
right,
and traits. These are where things exist. Excellent. Okay.
Good.
The shove part. You can use the shove action against any creature within reach of your whip.
All right. There's no saving throw for them?
Well, it's part of the shove action, so I need to double check
Shove action.
the full use of when you use like a shove. Like think of it like when you do like the trip attack and stuff like that or whatever. So when you use the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either knock it prone or push it away from you. I think it can only push it away from me.
Yeah, so
No,
it
it
won't
just
do
I guess
damage,
it just
but
says shove action, so it just is.
Yeah.
It's I can
It won't
choose
do
either or. I will choose to prone it. I'm gonna do
Okay.
like the sweep the leg.
Let's see, for the shove action?
It says just for shoving a creature. When using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or push it away from you. If you're able to
don't
make multiple
remember-
attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. I don't have
don't
multi-attack, but
remember- I don't remember shove being able to knock creatures
I
prone.
am reading it
just remember them
from
being
the
pushed
player's
away.
handbook. I literally just read the player's handbook.
Ah, so you don't mind if I double check?
Okay. I mean, you go
Just
to you,
because I
you
don't
type
use
in
the
shove actions.
I did.
using the
Mhm.
attack action.
He's
Alright.
gonna pull out a player's handbook of his own, but it's like written in crayon.
You see here, it
You
says,
see, here's the thing.
"Go fuck
You
yourself."
you say it's written in crayon, but I've eaten all the crayons in this house, so no. Yes, you can knock it.
You
Right,
fool!
it's rose art.
You fool! I've eaten all the crayons.
It's where I
Joke's
garner my
on
power.
you.
One step ahead of you.
Okay.
I need a hospital.
All right, so you knock it prone.
Yes.
All right. You whip out with the whip. It grabs it by the ankle and kind of pulls it down. It lands inches away from Petrichor. As Petrichor, you see it collide near your feet. You kind of have to move them reflexively away a little bit so it doesn't kind of land on your ankles as well.
And
But all these creatures are still relatively like this creature.
The one you have actually seems to have a little bit more reinforcement to it.
Cool. He's gonna
Or
get a
one that has a
hexblade curse
shield.
on him.
All right.
get it.
Bam.
Take him out.
Bam. And he's within 30 feet,
Bam.
so it's also potentially one of my only options.
All right. So you've got the hexblade curse on it. Is there
Yes.
anything else you'd like to do?
That is all I can do. I mean, that I want to do.
Wonderful.
I could move, but I'm at a good distance away from it.
Valley.
So I will just kind of keep myself at where I'm at.
Okay. Now that's with the 24 Nephra. With the 22, you arrive at the top of the stairs at the top of the deck, only to find a
I can't hear anything you're saying.
again.
There you go.
Oh, I hear you now.
There we go.
I heard
Okay.
like, none of that.
You go to the top of the ship and you see in the middle of the ship there's this giant hole with splintered wood kind of jaggedly making the edge of it. But that's one of the things that get your attention. The second thing that gets your attention is the sheer panic of people running past you and Nina as you have her by the hand. And in front of you, you see several of these creatures that you fought before on the light iron, now accosting some of your fellow shipmates. One of which is now laying down next to Petrichor.
Just sneezing, just snoozing.
I
Don't mind
have
me.
two questions.
Yes.
Questions. One, are these creatures armed in any way? Are they like
Yes.
wielding weapons? Okay. Two, am I within 30 feet of Petrichor, Terry, and David?
You are within 30 feet. Yes, you are within 30 feet of all of them.
Okay.
If you move 10 feet forward.
I'm going to let go of Nina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna
Fuck it
kind
up,
of
Nephra.
half turn to her and say, "Stay close to me. Don't leave my sight." And I'm gonna move 10 feet forward. I pull out a flask of holy water. I kind of like pour a little bit of it along my hand and along my forearm. Take my other hand, sort of like splash it outward, and then speak in Infernal. And I cast Bless on all three of the party members.
Ooh.
please and thank you.
Nephra's growing up.
I do like.
proud
There
of
is
him.
some comedy in the. Don't leave my sight. Stay right next to me. I move away
And
from
then
All right, bless up.
Yep.
Can you
bless
remind
up.
me what do I add or what do I
All
do?
right.
for bless?
So what bless does?
Please, thank you.
Whenever a target, that's you, makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, that's a minute from now. The target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to their attack roll or saving throw. So basically, any attack rolls or saving throws you make in the next 10 turns, add a d4 to it.
Mhm.
Got it.
Must make them know that ability checks do not count.
Got it.
Correct. Yep, it's going to be attack rolls or saving
But
throws.
potentially, I feel like if I remember correctly, most of everyone else has their inspiration dice still.
That
Yes.
is
That
you
you
do.
can use on ability
Correct.
checks.
nobody uses their inspiration dice.
And
I
I am
have.
going to
That's fair.
I am going to end my turn. Let's see here. So that was going to be, yes, that's bless, that's concentration. Yeah. So Nephra is going to end his turn. Holy water pocketed, both hands on glaive, looking like he's ready to just like tear everything up.
Tear it down.
He's single and ready to kringle. All right.
All right.
So that's Nephra's turn.
You got
Now,
Was that
now
the
it
tagline
is-
to the Santa Claus too?
me there. Yes.
I don't want to talk about it, man. So now it is the creature that that David kind of knocked prone. This
Damn it.
creature is gonna be on the ground, and you see its face slowly rise up towards you, Petrichor.
My hope was dashed.
And you see it slowly rise up. It's not rising up like a normal human would. You know,
Just slinking up.
it kind of slinks together. It brings his knees closer to its face, and then you see it just kind of raise his body up, kind of in this crude manner, disregarding of any joints or whatnot. Some arms fall in place.
Delicious.
There's a T pose. Trying to give a superiority.
Yep. It's already working.
And as it stands up,
You fool.
you see it raise the warhammer or the war axe one more time, and then bring it down on you. does-
No, thank you.
Does a 25 hit?
I don't think I need to answer that for you.
Clearly, it's no.
Go for it, sir.
All right, that is going to be
I'm dead. No.
12 damage.
Well, she's down.
Ah!
All right, you won't.
I would
need
hope
to
you're not
do
dead.
I mean,
You won't need to do your Constitution saving throw for that one then, but it is going to then kind of twist his neck almost too much over to where David's standing, and then begin to shamble over with the rest of its movement, reaching David as he is within 15 feet of him, and then raise his weapon up and try to strike at David. That's a bonus. That will miss though, because that's an 8.
why
Okay.
could I get the 8?
Yeah. Well,
Man.
As it swings, David, you have had more than enough time to see it come towards you. You easily just dodge out of the way from this. As it looks at you, shield in one hand, war axe in the other, just eyes empty, but with a little hint of violence. So that's its turn. Next up, oh shit, Terry, what's you got an 18 for dexterity, right?
Yes.
Perfect. You go first.
Hey. So how far
Alright,
away is the one
Terry.
that was attacking?
What was that?
How far away is the one that was attacking?
And the one that is attacking is about 15 feet away from you. You're kind of the other, closer to the other side of the hole, the resulting hole, but close to the edge of it, from where you landed. Nephra is about. There's a 5-foot gap between the two of you, as he had to get closer in order to get not only you but everybody else. You're currently prone and covered in violet ichor.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna get up. It's half movement, right, to get up?
Yes.
Get up. Do Lich slap on the guy.
Get it, Terry.
Get it. All right.
Get it.
You hear a Serac being like, "Bitch, please," as a meamsical hand appears out of nowhere and slaps this thing. Go ahead and make me the attack. For all those who don't know, Forgotten Realm North, a Serac is like this lynch that makes this whole thing. He's actually the main antagonist for Tomb of Annihilations. Is really great module book that's out there. You should check it out on D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond, ladies and gentlemen.
Please stop.
He also makes a hell of an omelet.
Hey,
16.
by breaking so many eggs. 16.
Yes.
That just hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh. Uh, 12.
12. Ooh. Wait, how'd you get 12?
It rolls a d8 and then I have a +4 for the modifier.
Nice.
No.
What?
Are you using Wild Embrace yet?
No.
Yeah, if it's just a spell, you don't get the modifier with it.
Well, then 8.
Okay.
What was
That's
he
still
using?
max damage.
+4
Still pretty
modifier at
good.
the top then.
What was he using?
What was that?
What were you using?
It's a racial trait that he can use, but only when it's active can he add the bonus to it. Until then, it's just a base roll for spells, unless it explicitly says it uses the modifier.
I see. Okay. Well, then 8.
Yes, which is still max damage for this
Nice.
spell. And now the creature has disadvantage on you, as this meamsical hand. I keep calling it meamsical. This phantasmal hand grabs the throat of this creature, crushing it. You see dark energies kind of rise and kind of go against the watery goo that's on his neck that comprises what it is, and stands there wordlessly screaming as no air is in his lungs. All right, Terry, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'll try to move my remaining just away from all the creatures.
All right. That will get you to the railing of the ship, unless you want to go down below deck.
No, I'll hang around by the railing.
All right, you're hanging around by the railing. Sounds good. All right, Terry, that's your turn. Also on the 14, another one of these creatures are going to start shambling towards Nephra now, as it is now Nephra is the closest creature to it, as Terry has now moved. This creature seems to be less armored than the other one that you're all currently facing. Nonetheless, it does have its a long sword variation of the obsidian weapons you've all been seeing in its hands as it rushes towards you with it raised up high. Does a 15 hit you, Nephra?
No, 15 misses.
Ooh, it swings, but
Oh
you're
my God.
you're on your game right now. It's like you just had a hearty meal, good conversation
ready
with
to
the person
go.
you care about, and some voice in your head's telling you to get ready. All that has coalesced to you dodging this one strike. You peaked. This is it.
It's all downhill from here.
And the creature just kind of looks at you, Nephra, as it stands there preparing another strike. That's it for 14s. Petrichor, make me a death saving throw.
Mama, get off my arm.
So she
I
gets
have 3
to add a D4
dice.
to this,
So
right?
I have 3 d20, so let's see.
All right, just roll one.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, that was really close to being really bad. All right,
Yes.
put
It's
down
extra bad. Still pretty bad, though.
Put down one failure.
All right.
That's a little bit of blood kind of
We're
squirts out
pre-revivify, baby.
Woohoo!
Seriously, though, can she add the D4 to it?
Even though.
It's not going to help that roll, but it'll make me feel better.
Will inspiration help me with this? Is inspiration conscious?
I feel inspired to live.
I would allow that actually. Yeah, if you want to use inspiration for that saving,
Why not?
go for it. I mean,
all right, we have one good one, boys. Do I just roll this again, or what do I do?
Yeah, it's just you. You roll it
just
again.
re-roll if you want to do it.
A 12. Better.
All right.
Okay,
One
I'm alive.
success.
That's one success.
Yes. All right.
Son of
The
a-
blood stops from the bleeding, from the sucking chest wound that Petrichor has.
You're still bleeding in 2 other spots. Weirdly, it's like
Yeah.
and
it's- I
for
don't
some
know.
reason
in
you always
blood.
have 3 wounds when you get knocked down. It's crazy.
Life works like that sometimes, you know.
hmm
Always 3 though. Always 3.
A little bit of normal red blood comes out of your mouth.
And then a little bit of Monica in my
Okay.
life.
And somewhere, someone says, "You know what? I don't know why, Mambo, you look like a 5 right now." And
No, my
Mambo
favorite
looks at
number
them.
is 5.
All
It was
right.
a successful day in the clothing facility when finally the 5th one. It was Mambo number 5. The clothing was a success.
I
Okay,
can't
number
wait
five,
till
code
it drops
name
Mambo
Mambo.
number 6. That's gonna be fire.
Oh, you know.
It's actually 10 minutes long, and it's just him repeating names.
Tequila. Just kidding.
That's the wrong song, but okay.
I know.
Anyways, top of
So
the
wrong.
round. David, you're in combat with this creature. It smells atrocious. Your friend's down. Your other friend's injured,
All right, he's getting whipped for real this time.
and Nephra looks like on his game today. You don't know why, but you feel a
Ooh.
outwardly force on you, kind of.
I really hope
your
a
things.
27 will hit him.
It's too high. It will not. I'm kidding.
Yes,
He
Goes
will.
negative.
Go ahead and roll
He's
damage.
also gonna suck on this branding smite.
Ooh.
Damn, girl.
That's right. It's a D.
Branding
Oh,
smite. Is that fire damage?
It is radiant damage. I had to find where it said radiant, but I was like, that symbol looks like radiant, but I want to double check.
All right.
It's definitely not fire, because fire has a very distinct icon to make it clear that it's fire. But radiant
That's
is
fair,
not
yeah.
particularly what I would immediately say. Like, yeah, it looks like light. It kind of does, but I had to double check.
Okay.
I wasn't 100%
So
sure.
do me a favor. Actually, I'm gonna look at something real quick. I'm gonna look at your current path.
He's not invisible, is he?
Or your invocations. No, he's in front of you.
Oh, I'm a fool! This would have been
What?
useful last session. Why don't I remember smites? Damn it.
Oh,
Why don't I
man.
remember how to use key points?
Okay, since it is pack. Okay, it is magic. Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll damage. Or
yeah.
have you rolled an attack yet? Oh yeah, you did.
Yes.
Roll damage. My brain's catching up in all this.
Okay, I do have a D8 now. That's right. Because you can't change base weapon dice. And
Yeah, so it's now a
Stupid
D8 and 2D6.
where's my D8? Where? Here. You. You're a D8.
You.
Well, there's another set I usually use, and I can't find that one's D8. It's not on the desk.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's disappointing.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, just look at me.
I have another
used this
D8,
die,
but
and I rolled 19 to hit Petrichor, and now she's dead.
well,
Thank you, heater dice,
hopefully
or
this helps.
dryer dice.
Hashtag blessed.
Thanks.
Hopefully this will help. So it'll take 5, 9. Math's hard. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. 13 damage.
13 damage.
8 of it is radiant, if it matters.
Ooh.
Vaguely.
Okay.
But I just double check. Your pack weapon is technically magic, so yeah.
It is.
All right. All right. You strike and you see a bright light emerge from the slash wound of the whip as you kind of bring it back, grab a bit of it, and just slash it across.
Okay.
It kind of staggers a little bit, looking down. And after a little bit, you see the bright light turns a bit violet as the moisture of it kind of envelops it. It then stops it as the spell naturally ends.
Hopefully he doesn't. If he tries to become invisible, he can't.
Don't stop that.
Stop in the name of the law.
I mean, technically, the light of the brand part is still there. He just wasn't invisible prior to it.
It's just faint. It's dim light.
Right. So if he
Yeah,
tries
you're
to
out.
become invisible like the man that he exploded from,
All right,
he's got
so that's
another
your-
thing coming.
That's your turn, David.
Yes.
Nephra, it is now your turn. You have this bigger armored creature next to David, and you see another. Well, you're actually in combat with a lightly armored creature, kind of swinging a longsword at you.
There's
Yeah,
one
the-
swinging a longsword at me right now, pretty much.
Yes, he's in
Yeah,
combat
I
with
remember
you, and
that.
Nina
I just
is
missed his
10
attack.
feet away from you as she decided. Well, you did say for her to stay close to you.
Yeah.
You
She-
did then run towards these creatures.
I mean, she has her own action. She can move. I was just saying, don't run away to the other side of the boat. That's all.
That's fair.
It's the heat of the battle. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, all right. Well, this guy that is currently swinging a sword at me, I'm going to
Yes.
go ahead and pay him back. Nephra turns and locks eyes on this guy, and
You can't tell.
Thing.
it's hard to tell.
There's only decay.
And he is going to swing the glaive and attempt to decapitate.
Ooh.
Everyone's going ham in this.
We're on the brink.
And I'm dead. Well, I'm not dead. I'm passed the fuck out.
You're
Things
dying.
are kind of bad right now. All right.
Present tense death.
That's
It
a
is.
natural 20.
Oh, I was
Hey.
disappointed.
Hell yeah.
All right. Natural 20.
Oh, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 27 total.
I already forgot what my
Delicious.
nobody rolls natural 20, so I already forgot my homebrew rules for natural 20. Double the dice.
All right, so.
Cool. So your homebrew rules aren't very different.
No.
Good
I'm trying to remember
news.
which one it is, whether or not you roll
What
two of the
moves,
dice
everyone?
or you double the dice.
I mean,
Double
the
the dice
homebrew
sounds
one
fine.
would be the rolling 2 dice.
Yes. Okay.
Nowadays. It used to not be that way.
All right,
It
Nephra,
was
what you
flipped.
get?
15
Now it's the way it should be.
So it's gonna be 18 points of damage.
18 points of
No.
damage, Renos. Nice.
No.
You slash into this creature. It goes up to only a little sliver of skins left as you almost decapitate this creature. The head kind of lolls over to the side and remains on the neck. However, it's still standing as the head, the eyes where they would be are still looking towards you. It's still motioning as you see some green foam or sea foam start to emerge from the open wound and start to kind of come in contact You see, rather than attach it, it starts to coalesce in this skin and kind of making or covering the gap right there. To an extent, it still looks very damaged.
I still have my bonus action, correct?
Yes, you do.
How far away am I from Petrichor?
Petrichor is 15 feet away from you.
Okay.
The opposite way.
Without even hesitating, he literally swings the blade, rotates slightly, calls out to Nina. On second thought, maybe, just find like a safe place to hide, okay? And then he's going to run over to where Petrichor is, reach down, grasp onto her shoulder, and cast Spare the Dying.
Oh, woohoo!
All right. Petrichor, you're currently stable.
Okay, hooray 0.
Yes. So now you don't have to roll death saving throws, but until someone heals you, you're kind of still.
And I'll end my turn there. That's all I got.
Oh, he froze.
I thought I was that.
I did too. I'm like,
froze for me.
All right, wait. So,
oh, come on, he's still freezing.
am I still good?
Like
Now
you're
you're good.
you're mid blink. Okay, now you're good.
Okay.
It froze. You were like mid blink.
Hello. How's it going?
Okay.
My name is bitch. Okay. So, it is now the big guy's turn as it looks at David. Brings his warhammer up and brings it right back down on him. And I think I froze again. Oh no,
No, you're okay.
For a little bit. You're all throwing me off.
Fix your.
Sorry.
If anything, just reinstance your server.
Oh no, you're
Since
okay again.
you're the only one kind of bugging out. Maybe just redo your
Or-
own server.
Or it's good
What?
risk of it just exploding on us.
Like,
How do I refresh it?
just go to region up at the top right corner. Just change it from like east and go back.
From Oh. Okay. I think I'm good. I lost him. There we go. Okay. So, excuse me. The creature has rolled a natural 1.
Oh,
Hooray!
let's go creature.
Creature powers.
NPCs rolling on the table. Which creature was it? It was the big one?
The big
Yeah.
one in front of you, David.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, through
currently
the lag,
opening
I
up.
wasn't sure which one was going.
Explode. Or
All right.
no, just disintegrate.
no
We
more
don't
exploding
It'll hurt
things.
you. Yeah, like it'll hurt you. No. Wait, never mind.
It might. We'll see.
Only
rolled a
things
90.
dissipating into dust.
It rolled a 92.
Ooh. That's a big one.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
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 Perfect. All right.
Boy.
You see it swings at you. The weapon impacts down on the ground and kind of embeds itself. It looks down at it, looks back up at you, David,
Mm-hmm.
and then Wallace looks back down and kind of retrieves it. And despite the seriousness of the situation, that one comical situation has just occurred in front of you.
So he just like dropped his item and picked it up.
Well, that was a natural 1. The effect, though, will be something you guys will have to see for later.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
He's a humanitarian now.
I don't want to hurt these guys.
Turns around, fights everybody else. However, as his bonus action, it will make another attack.
I am.
Roll another one.
No, that's a 19.
Oh,
Damn
okay.
it.
All right.
Uh-oh.
As it comes to attack you, David, you take 12 damage.
All right, I'm down.
All right, and
Oh
you're down.
God.
You don't have to make a Constitution saving throw.
No, not you.
I
I
do
took
or I
all the
don't?
damage, right?
You do not,
Oh.
since you're down.
Uh-huh.
You vomit a little
Suck
bit in
it.
your mouth as you go down.
Fuck you guys.
Unfortunately, he is no longer affected by my exploits, guys.
Oh no.
Yep, he is now done. All right.
Oh, I'm dumb. I
What's
played
up?
a Hexblade before. Why don't I remember these things?
What was the second thing you forgot?
I rolled a 19 when I hit him last time. That was a crit. Damn it.
For next time, brother.
Why am I forgetting everything?
All right, David's down. That's its turn. Terry.
I was trying to double check. I was like, wait, is there anything that can save my life? I was like, is there anything defensive for this?
Terry, you also see Dave, the interaction between David and this creature as it swings down and bends his weapon, kind of looks at Dave. It pulls the weapon from the ground, and then with a swift action, brings it back up in the backhand motion at David, kind of knocking him against the wall that's behind him.
Are you kidding me?
David slumps on the ground, a bit of fresh blood falling down from his chest from where the slash wound is. It is now your turn.
Can't do anything about that.
Thanks, fam.
I don't know what you want from me. I can't do anything. I'm done playing around. Ice Knife, second level. This guy.
Ice knife him up.
Oh,
Boy.
okay. Let me just see what the collateral damage for that one is.
Oh, God, no.
5 feet.
Oh, God, no. Just don't
All right.
do 28 damage and I'll be fine.
It's just an instant death save fail if it hits.
I mean, if he does 28 damage.
All right, Terry, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
That's the voice Terry talks in every single time.
Okay.
Stuff of nightmares.
Here we
18.
go.
15?
18.
18. Yeah, that hits.
No.
David, go ahead and roll that. Or don't roll it, but you have one fail save as Terry brings her hands together and unleashes this long piece of jagged ice from her hands and launches it at this creature. Terry, go ahead and roll damage.
Hey Terry, don't feel like you have to add a D4 to that one. It's fine. Don't worry about that.
Bless doesn't work till damage.
7
You're right.
plus 3 is 10.
Forgot about Bless, too.
We're good at this.
I want to know what's wrong with me today.
15 total.
I forgot everything.
18 total?
15.
15 total? All right, this creature is still up, but you see most of its body is now frozen. As the left side where you currently impacted it is now a block of ice, effectively, as you hit ice to what is it's water for the most part, and it has frozen it rigid. You also see some of the collateral damage as it strikes David as well, kind of freezing some parts of him. At the very least, he's not bleeding out anymore. The problem is he's now somewhat covered in this sheet of ice.
I'm sorry, what?
Just from the collateral damage of the ice knife.
Oh, I thought you were saying like something stabilized me. I was like, what? How did that happen?
No.
How did I
Not
get
stabilized.
stabbed by ice and it
Sadly.
stabilized me? I was like, what?
Shock.
Not stabilized, stabilized. There's a difference.
The bleeding open wound you have is now it's stopped bleeding, but you're still not good. You're now kind of freezing. You're losing body temperature fast, which is also very dangerous in terms of being someone in critical health. All right, Terry, that's your turn. The creature that's on Nephra.
So what was the
Should have
damage?
made an
What was the
attack.
damage the ice knife did?
It doesn't matter for you. You
It
just take
does.
one.
It actually does.
It doesn't go into negatives. You just take the death
But
save.
if you-
Death save fail.
If you still take damage that exceeds your hit point maximum, it's still instant death.
Okay, what's your hit point maximum?
28.
28. You're fine.
Okay, that's why I
You
was
did
just
15.
wanted to know.
Yes, you're good. Don't worry. Nephra, the creature that you moved away from should have done an opportunity attack, and I forgot.
Okay.
So I will remember for next time, and you got off lucky.
Uh,
But it will now slowly turn its head towards Terry and
Thankfully,
start
this isn't a
shammering.
Noel.
Oh, that's true. And starts shambling over to Terry as it raises up its weapon and lunges at her. Does a 15 hit you, Terry?
No.
I think it's my migraine.
All right. The blade nearly misses you as the several pieces of jagged obsidian on it kind of whisk in the air over near you. You're now in combat range of this creature. That's its turn. Petrichor, you are stable and you don't need to do anything.
Unfortunately, since you're still technically at 0, you do nothing.
Just
Yeah,
hanging.
At that point, at the end of the round, you do see the door to the captain's quarters slam open. And now from it, you see, well, two of you don't see this for obvious reasons. But Nephra and Terry, you see Captain Brand step out, weapon already at hand. One key note's different, though. Her hair is slightly undone. While usually it always looks neat, now you see that it looks a bit less kept up,
oh my.
which is significant for someone like Brand.
She extra sad.
Or she extra mad.
Oh.
She's mad.
mad.
She's
All right,
mad.
As I rolled her initiative, she didn't get a good one.
No.
Amazing.
Yeah, to put in perspective, Petrichor, you go first before her.
Oh,
Ouch.
buddy.
Oh.
So that's the end of the round. Top of the round, David.
All right.
Make me a death saving throw.
No.
No.
Nah.
Marshall,
confirm the number. Marshall,
Nah, though.
Oh,
Marshall,
Nah,
buddy.
though.
Hey, do I roll on the chart if I'm dead?
Oh.
Hold on.
yeah, go for it.
Come
Come on.
back to life and do a jig.
Oh.
Oh, buddy.
Blow 100, that way you're not really dead.
That'd be a great point. I rolled a 15, however.
15. All right, hang on.
That
one
actually,
second, please.
technically, that could happen because if I rolled a 2 on the chart, I would get a reroll.
That's true.
Oh.
Didn't you say you got 2 then?
Because I'm not a liar, Jade.
He's a truther.
An
Whoa.
unfortunate
Always
truther.
lie.
That's
Never tell
not
the
too much
truth.
better.
See this dice? See this dice?
Yeah. That's a sad dice. Oh
You hear
no.
Get
a
the
window
shit out.
shatter. All right.
Eat that out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Oh no. Time to write up a new character.
It's still going in the freezer, but I'm concerned that I don't know if my dog would try to eat it.
Perhaps.
I feel like he's smart enough, and he's aged smart enough, but he's new enough that I don't know.
Ah,
Mm.
true.
But well, I didn't think I had to pull this out this
Oh,
quickly.
Oh no.
But David, as unconsciousness hits you, as you feel the blow of the strike that initially put you here, you land on the ground and you hear nothing. You see nothing. You feel nothing. All you know is that you're in some sort of void. Floating, if you can even call it floating, with nothing activating any senses or whatnot. You are truly and utterly alone.
Alone.
You're alone.
It's just you and freedom, nothing else.
But from within, this part of you, the part of you that you initially garnered power from, the half of you that you don't talk about to all these other people, the part that you always wanted to keep a secret. You feel it stir, and you feel it garner more power. And suddenly the void doesn't seem so vacant anymore. And that's David's turn. Nephra, it
Fab.
is now your turn.
Nephra's gonna be losing his shit.
So, question.
Yes.
I can't use Spare the Dying on him at this point.
No,
right? 'Cause
you
he is
can't
just
do
dead.
Spare the Dying if they're already dead.
Alright.
Also, by the way, you could have done Spare the Dying from a distance.
Well, he did it on his turn. He did it to
I
Petrichor.
did it
I was
for
up.
Petrichor,
And I was up.
gonna do it for him.
Yep.
He had no opportunity to do it to me.
No, I just realized I want to make a note. Since you moved next to Petrichor and then you Spare the Dying, you could have done it from right there.
It moved away from her anyway. It's fine.
It's alright. Yeah, it worked out. I guess.
No, that's just me having played a grave cleric in the last campaign, being like, "When did that?" Just for a little tidbit from one former grave cleric to the current dying grave cleric. But Nephra, it's now your turn.
So I see that. Can I see that David has like died? That he does not seem to be moving at all. He's just like completely lifeless.
From where you are and the ice that's covering him right now, you can't tell. Not without making a full-on check or getting closer. But there's too many things going on that you can't focus on that thing. You have two creatures, one of which is slowly looking over to you now, kind of to garner your attention. You do see Bran.
You fucked up.
You do see Bran come
that
up.
A creature looked at me? Which creature looked at me?
The armored one that just
Which one?
cut down David.
Yeah, he fucked up. So
Fuck
how far away is he?
Fuck him up, Nephra.
David right now would be 15 feet away from Petrichor. So in terms of gameplay, he's 10 feet away from you.
I fly towards whatever this thing is.
All right.
Glaive held outward, screaming. And I'm going to move to stab it through the head and like rip the head off of its body.
There you go.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
For David.
Five, 17.
17. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. As in this fury, this rage that you didn't know you had inside of you, you rush forward from Petrichor's side towards this creature, Glaive. All right, you don't even get close to the creature first in order to attack it, since the Glaive has a 10-foot reach. But you continue going anyways, as the Glaive hits first at this creature's face, and you continue forward, kind of running the blade along it. What's the damage?
11.
11. All right. And as you continue forward, is there anything else you'd like to do as you kill this thing?
No, I'm just going to violently.
So if I had remembered my
head.
crit and my bless, he may have died before I did.
Yes.
I'm really glad I know these things now.
I rip its head from its body and just kind of fling it off of the ship.
All right. And easily enough, the minute it kind of comes off the blade and gets on the actual staff of the glaive, it has completely detached from the body, and with a quick flick of the weapon, you send it spiraling towards the unforgiving depths of the ocean, as the rest of the body dissolves into the green foam, dousing David's unmoving legs in this in this ichor, as the head, even before it hits the ocean, kind of dissolves into this liquid as well. That only leaves one creature immediately around you. There's a few others kind kind of towards the bow of the ship.
How far away now? Petrichor's still like stable, right? So she's still on the floor. She can't do anything. She's at 0 hit points.
Yeah, she's at 0 hit points. She can't do anything.
All right. What is? Let's see. So I move 10 feet forward to attack the enemy. I'm gonna use the remaining 20 feet to move right back next to her if I can.
Okay, and you do.
My turn there.
Perfect. All right, that's your turn. Well, would have been its turn. Has now come and gone because it's now currently green and violet mush. Terry, it's now your turn. You have this creature in front of you, swinging around a longsword, and you're barely dodging. What do you do?
If he's right in front of me. Let me see.
Thunderclap.
All this for the date. Jay,
yeah, let's go with frostbite.
All right, so it has to make a Constitution saving throw, and if I remember correctly, it's a 14. Ooh, bad luck. You rolled an 18 flat.
That's all I got.
Yeah, thank you, dryer dice. I'm gonna keep you around.
God, no.
Dryer dice?
Yeah, this is a dice that was
like
in my
dryer
pocket when I
dice.
put my pants through the dryer,
Could
and
have
it
ended very
survived. And
poorly.
it looks okay. Yeah.
Not,
so
and more important though, it could have ended poorly for either your washer or dryer.
they're not mine. They're the apartment buildings.
I mean, they
go-
trace it back to you. Who had a D20? It's
it
the
was-
nerd that just moved in. I know it.
Greg, you say that about all the new tenants, and they're all nerds. All right, so Terry, that's your action. What do you do as your bonus action? Terry.
You've muted
Terry.
yourself. I don't know if you chose to, but you have muted yourself.
Terry, we can't hear you. It's fine. I trust you. You're valid.
Well,
Just know it's 2019, and I believe in you. In 2020, I'm gonna fucking hate you, but in 2019, I still love you.
So
All right,
motivational.
We're gonna come back to you, Terry, as the creature's gonna swing
4
one more
months
time
from
at
now,
you.
Gonna hate your guts.
It is going to, let's see, if a 15 miss, a 13 will as well. As it swings at you, and you duck out of the way. I'm hoping you're listening to all. Oh,
Oh
The
God,
dog.
the dogger.
My God.
it looks like that. That's how the thing's attacking Terry.
Ah!
I got a little hung up.
All right. So that's Terry at a 7. Petrichor, you are
A 0-1? I don't.
you are stable.
Okay.
0.
So I'm still just like prone, just hanging out.
Yeah,
Taking
you're
a little
just 0.
snooze.
You're still unconscious,
You're
essentially.
stable.
Alright, just
You
taking a
have a
snooze.
home. You have a good paying job. Your mental health's been doing great these last few
Oh.
days. You're stable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can't relate.
That's great. Wish I could feel that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unbeknownst to you, though,
This
another
is a
one of these
fantasy
creatures
game.
is slowly. Another creature is slowly approaching you.
Uh-huh. Can't do nothing about it. I'm snoozing.
Yep, you are. It's like I said, unbeknownst to you.
I'll sleep.
I'm snoozing.
However, at a 6, Bran is going
Caught me
to
slipping.
quickly appear in front of it.
Oh, come on, girl. Let's go.
Oh my, Robo.
She looks at him. Well, nobody's paying attention, and then proceeds to do stuff.
Whoa.
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
Proceeds to do stuff really
Jacques.
well.
Oh.
Really well.
Oh.
Hang on 1 second. I don't have another D6, but oh well. Okay. All right. 14. Neat. 20 damage. All right. 20 damage. Bad thing's dead. All right. Top of the round. Nephra. It's now your turn.
Okay. Nephra is now standing next to Petrichor.
Yes.
All right. How far away is this other enemy now that's like rising up towards her?
It is close to 20 feet away from you. Or well, the creature that was attacking Petrichor, you don't see anymore. You see Brand standing about. There's a 5-foot gap between Brand and Petrichor, and the creature is now dissolving into green foam.
Okay, I'm going to.
Yes.
I'm going to kneel down next to Petrichor. I take my hand and I rest it on her shoulder again. And I say, "All right, time to get up. We need you. We need you out here. You hear me? We got work to do.
Get out there,
I really
champ."
don't think.
And his voice becomes more coherent and like less stuttery as he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
Until he just says, "Get up. You're the best of all of us. Come on, let's move." And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
Please and thank you.
So that is gonna be
2 health points.
Please don't.
Can you imagine? So that is gonna be 13.
Oh, that's
health
fresh.
points.
Oh, that's
And then for a bonus action, he like squeezes her shoulder really hard for a moment and like whispers like, and then this kind of shimmering field suddenly sort of appears around her. And at the same time, there's this kind of wisp in the air, as if like another spell has kind of ended. And I cast Shield of Faith upon her.
Damn.
Good.
So Bless is no longer in play, but Petrichor now has a +2 bonus to her AC.
Not like they used it anyway.
Petrichor.
Yes.
Consciousness is slowly returning to you. But until then, Terry, it is now your turn. You still have this creature in front of you.
All right. Right in front of me. Yeah, let's go with another frostbite.
Go for it. All right, right. I have to roll that one. Oh God, you're making me do stuff.
You go for it. You do it.
I will. Ooh, that actually might fail. What's his Constitution saving throw? Nothing. That's a 5, so that failed. Go ahead, roll damage.
Now I roll.
I believe in you, Terry.
A 5.
Just what you need. How do you want to do that?
I want him to freeze so slowly as it emerges from its core outward extremities. They slowly reach out, but then freeze mid-reach as a frozen statue to my ice powers.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you the creature kind of brings his weapon up one more time to kind of swing at you. Terry, you actually reach out, and while not touching the creature itself, you do emit this blast of icy wind at it, instantly freezing the arm, and the frost kind of begins to run down its body quickly before it can even stop. Most of it has frozen to a still. And for a brief moment, you see there's this weird effect. It seems like you only got the outer layer of this creature with, since it is a cantrip, couldn't get so much of it. However, you do see inside kind of implode in a way as it kind of fills up towards the bottom in this green liquid. eventually just bursting through the weak ice around the legs, causing the entire thing to fall over and smash on the deck of the Ember. And now with that, you are officially out of initiative. However, Terry, as you proceed to do that, as you finish your spell, you feel something grab you from behind. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Stranger danger. Mathing, 16.
16. All right. You manage to pull yourself away, but you see right behind you is another one of these creatures kind of materializing on the railing of the ship itself.
This is
Kind
too
of reaches
much.
out. It kind of reaches out at you. You see a dagger in its hands, about to reel back, and then you see a blur to your right as a creature kind of grabs the face of this being grabs the arm and face of the creature and kind of shoves it back into the ocean. All you see is black hair, kind of in front of you, as this person just chucks the creature into off the ship itself.
Get back down there.
And
Get back down there.
And as you hear a distant splash, this creature turns around, and you see it's one of the Derekai that you've been seeing, just looking at you in the last few hours that you were back on the ship. In this hour, this time you see his nails have elongated. The stripes on his face are now deeper. There's more of a feral appearance to him, and you realize why. He must have enacted his wild embrace prior to this. He looks at you, and there's the male who you often see in the center of the trio that usually observe you. He looks at you. You can't discern the emotion on his face, but without a word, he turns around and heads back below deck. You see the claws retracting.
Yeah. So now I got to deal with that.
I had a hand in that, possibly.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, Petrichor, you do regain consciousness.
Speaking of Dramatic Dragon Song.
All right, everybody's good. We defeated them.
Everybody's good. Everybody's A-okay.
I'm glad we all survived that without a scratch.
And Petrichor, when you wake up, you do see a hand next or above you as you see Bran reaching down. There's moisture coming off the weapon.
The claw.
Moisture coming off the glaive head she uses as a sword.
Off my sock.
This strange weapon she has, as she kind of offers you a hand to get up.
I'll be like, because I don't know. At this point I'm like, who's reaching for me? What's going on? Where am I? I think I just died for a second there.
Where am I?
So I like.
Who am I? Where are you?
I'm like, okay.
She grabs it and she pulls you up. It takes a little bit.
Iron. Give me a second.
Yeah, you're somewhat dead away at this point, but you do manage to get back on your feet. And she looks you up and down with the mask on, and you hear, "What happened?"
A man exploded.
Captain, I just like died there for a few minutes.
Pudding pop.
Can we talk about this later? I see. I've got to check on everybody. Where's everybody? What's going on? Where Nephra? Okay, Terry. Okay, where's David? David?
You see David kind of slumped against the wall next to the staircase. One of the staircases leading up to the poop deck.
Really?
It's been a while.
Let's erase that. It's been 0 days since the last. There you go. Thank you.
And
Classy.
0.
I'm dead on a wall, and you're laughing about poop deck.
But you see, he is covered lightly in ice. Nephra, you are standing next to him, and you do see him down there.
Yeah, I ran over to him.
Yep, he is covered in violet, ichor,
Oh yes, the goop.
red blood,
The
and
goop.
ice, and he is unmoving.
I
and
got
not
some
breathing.
goop. You want some goop?
Hey kids, you want some goop?
Oh, I
Come on
got some
down
goop.
to the goop shop. We've got goop. We've also got goop. And on today's
Okay,
special,
Nephra, can you do something? Come on. You
Stop talking
can you
about goop.
I'm
Ne-
doing
Ne-
a bit. Hold
Nephra.
on.
Nephra, check on him. Who had
Nephra
happened?
Nephra is not listening to anybody right now. What he is doing is with his hands, he is frantically wiping away as much of this purple liquor as he can. And then he is going to place both hands on David's face, kind of hold him upright a little bit, and then he is going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level because he doesn't know if he is dead or not right now.
All right. You do all that, and then with his face cradled in your hand, you feel the coldness to his skin now. You don't know whether it's from the spell that also hit him, that Terry unleashed, or it's something else. But
He's
you
always
hold,
cold. He's a vampire. It's fine.
One of these things killed him. I don't know.
I don't know.
but
He's
you
pale
hold,
and cold. It's
you
fine.
hold his face, and you cast the spell. You feel the
Hey, to you, I
divine
am just
energy
adorable
run through
human.
you, into him. But you don't feel anything change. And the presence in the back of your mind remains there as you feel the being that you regularly communicate with seems to be present at this point, but has not said anything.
Oh, I have 4.
And at that point, Petrichor, were you heading over to David?
Yeah.
All right, Petrichor, you also head over, and you see Nephra holding David's face, cradling it.
Can you do something? What's happening? Is he alive?
What do I have to do?
I don't know. You're the healer here. I just punch things.
I'm not talking to you. What do I have to do? What is it going to take to bring him back? What do I have to do? What do I have to say? What do you want?
At that point, Petrichor, you feel presence next to you as you see Bran standing there, the weapon still in her hand, looking down. And she is silent as she's just looking down at David. And you see the head is kind of tilted a bit down to confirm that she is looking. Terry, what are you doing at this point?
Well, I'm actually going to be looking around, seeing if there's any more of these things.
The rest of them seem to have. You don't know what the rest of them are, but there don't seem to be any more on the deck. As you see, some of the other shipmates are now attending to some of the injured and or dead on the around the blast radius. And you see some commotion coming from the actual hole itself, as it does lead down to the bottom room. But you do see your companions gathered around the fallen form of David. And you see Nephros shouting something.
Guys, what's going on over here? Oh my god!
Hey guys!
Oh my god!
Is he dead?
Oh my
Some water, you know. Oh, there's some water. Guys must have got him. Oh no!
Oh.
I'm glad that I smoked it.
Oh.
Nephra.
Yeah.
Despite the commotion around you, you don't hear an answer immediately. as you hold David in your hands, or you hold David's face in your hands. He is unmoving, he is cold, and you know this all too well. You can really feel some of the muscles in his neck tighten a little bit. And for a few more seconds, there's nothing. Then you realize there's a very faint voice in the back of your head repeating one thing. And it takes a while before you realize what that thing is that it keeps repeating over and over. And it gradually increases in volume until you finally are able to discern what it's saying. You just hear it say, "Destroy him."
Why would it say that?
David, at this point, the void has become all too familiar where you are. The presence that you know you have is now almost taking you completely. You can't fight it. You have no force. You have no power to hold it back at this point. Suddenly, in a representation of what you're facing, you find yourself in the void facing another copy of you're both just floating there facing each other. But while you're slowly feeling yourself sinking in this black mass just underneath you, the other version of you continues to rise. And all you can see is him and you. And that's slowly disappearing as you're being covered up by this black mass. You feel it envelop your legs, your arms, your chest. And as it works up your neck, and as it works up your chin, and kind of pours into your mouth, you can't taste it, but you know it's there. And it starts covering your nose and goes over your eyes. You swear you see the other half smile ever so slightly. And that's the last thing your mortal sight sees. We're back on the deck of the Ember. Brandon's standing there next to you, Petrichor. She turns away and sheaths the weapon she has with her, not bothering to clean it. And she speaks to you without looking at the rest of you. Gather up the dead. Count how many we lost.
Bring out your dead.
Yes, Captain.
Make sure their bodies are taken care of.
Yes, Captain.
As she begins to walk away, Nephra, you do see Nina kind of approach you all, a bit timid, as she kind of stands next to Terry, looking down, looking at David. You see her face is pale, and she recognizes what's going on as well. It was funny too. Earlier that day, you and her were having the conversation, and you briefly touched on the topic of the effect on what your companions had on you. Cruel irony, as it might be now that you are standing there, or you're kneeling there, holding the face of your now dead companion. David, you open your eyes, and in front of you, you see Nephra. You see Petrichor. and you see Terry. You see Bran walking away, and you see the girl that Nephra usually talks to standing off to the side. Nephra, Petrichor, Terry. You all see David's eyes slowly open.
What?
I knew you were fun.
Very slowly.
Got 8 lives left.
Does he show any signs of being undead?
You have a specific ability for that.
I sure do.
He sure does. That would have really hurt had I chosen the original idea for this character.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Eyes of the Grave to see.
Oh.
He's undead.
Without a second thought, Nephra, you activate your senses. Your eyes brighten ever so slightly as divine energy coalesces in them to give you sight. And in front of you, you are indeed holding the face of an undead man. And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Oh, man.
Oh my god!
Oh, my God.
So what will happen next week? We'll have to find out.
That
Oh.
complicates things.
Gonna
Quite
die.
a bit.
It's easy when they're mindless zombies.
Like all the time.
It's like what the gods tell me to do.
Killing undead
I'm like
is
weirdly
like my thing and
specifically
stuff.
against undead. It's like my main thing.
It's what I am. It's what I live for.
Unfortunately, death does things to people.
Kind of our forte over here.
Well, yes, thank you all for tuning in to this session. Come on down next week to see the fallout of what happens.
Oh my god.
To
Should be
David
wild.
and to the rest of our performers. With that, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
The camera keeps knocking out.
David died.